And what is up, guys? It's Poppa-H, and he is back as your favourite Asgardian, the mighty Thor. And what witchcraft is this that you speaketh of? It's a wrestling stroke boxing ring. Okay, and underneath is witchcraft because there's a challenge maker underneath. It's all set to this centerline path creator, which is easy to do, and I will show you just how you do it. As you can see, the challenge works. I've set myself to spawn on top of the turnbuckle so I can jump in, but we're going to switch that up when we create one. So I can show you've got options. Now, for people who want to know what difficulty this is on, this is extreme. Okay, on this particular part of the video. And you can see it's not easy. This big fella is after me. Good job, I am a god of thunder and lightning. That's all I'll say, because most of them will probably get absolutely destroyed here. And the good thing is you can actually pick them up and slam them into the canvas. Look, ooh, have another one. Alright, so this for me is a nice little fun feature, but you could turn it into a whole level, and we are gonna just run through how you create it, and you can do what you want with it. You can make a whole arena around it, you can do anything, but I'll show you just how you do it. I'm gonna pick up those green sparks, I'm gonna need those. No, okay, without further ado, let's begin! And bonjour, welcome to Gusto's Creation Area. We have got the perfect recipe for a wrestling stroke boxing ring for your toy box. And I have laid out all my ingredients perfectly so you can see just what goes inside of this wrestling ring. Okay, I'll stop there. I think my accent started to backfire on me. Okay, so you can see what got laid out there. We've got a path creator, we've got some locators, an enemy wave generator, and of course the challenge maker. The clever part, the vaulted ceiling. Okay, and you'll see why in a little while. And we'll just run through there, and these are in building set 7, guys. If you unlock them on the Jakku, I think you unlock them with the Jakku playset. We've got some basic blocks there, and we're going to be piecing it all together like a bit of an airfix kit, or like making a recipe. Whether I revisit that, I'm not so sure. Okay, so let's place those down. You'll notice I put basic blocks down as a bit of a floor first. Very important. If you start playing with path creators, if you put stuff in and remove it, it's going to cause you problems. So put your floor down somewhere roughly where you want it, because what we're going to be doing is sinking these items around this to make it. As you can see, they've got 4, what I would call 4 ropes or rails, if you like, but I only want to see 3, just like a wrestling ring or a boxing ring. So okay, certain characters have trouble getting out of this ring, so you'll have to, like the 1.0 characters with the rubbish jump, they're not going to do so well in here, but most of them will. So let's just go ahead and change the majority colour, and I'm going to choose black. And I know it's a bit on the boring side, but you'll see why. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and change that colour, because that's not very exciting to have a black mat. That's going to be our canvas. So we're going to, you can pick and choose what you want. You could have stars if you wanted to have some stars on there, or you could go ahead and pick stump wood, and that's quite a good one for a wrestling ring in my opinion. I wish I'd have done that in the other one, but just thought it was maybe a bit too much in there, because I didn't want it to jump as like a feature. I just want it to be a subtle feature that you can use and play as. Okay, so what we need to do here, once we've placed these fence corners down, so we want to get this path creator, and we want to create a new center line that runs roughly, well, wants to run exactly through the center of that. So we go ahead and we will just add another point in there, and sometimes it does that. Sometimes it jumps your next point underneath the map, and that's not very good, but we can soon remedy that, as long as you know that does sometimes happen. So plonk that there, and okay, right, let's start putting the thing together. So this piece here, now I want to put that to the path creator, but I've just forgotten something. So what I need to do, yeah, oh no, yeah, if I pop myself into spark mode, if it starts getting difficult, I'll just pop myself into spark mode. See, it doesn't pick it up. Strange, but it does happen, especially if it's close to other objects. So let's go into spark mode, and I've got it. Yes, brilliant. Okay, good. So what I want to do is go to the properties of that and switch it off, because otherwise that will just pass through on a loop and it will be an absolute pain to try and sort that out. Make sure it's off if you're doing this, guys. Okay, and then we're going to attach that to the toy box path. Okay, that's not what we wanted looks wise, is it? But if we select that piece now, the vaulted ceiling, and then the toy box path, now the speed isn't going to be of any interest to you because you've turned it off. The horizontal offset and vertical offset are going to be. So we're just going to alter those. Try and get it down somewhere. So, oh yes, I've got it. So I've got three ropes showing. That's what I wanted. Now I've just got to tweak it side to side, get it in a position I like, and come back out of there. I think I'm reasonably happy with that. I'll just double check it. Yeah. Okay, so guys, this is officially my first tutorial, so you'll have to bear with it. I'm not that great at explaining stuff, but if you stick with it, you'll have a lovely wrestling ring at the end of it. So basically what we've got to do now is do the same, apply the same technique with these basic blocks to surround this vaulted ceiling block. Okay, so select the block itself once it's attached to the path, and then we're going to start playing around with the horizontal offset, vertical offset. Now this is going to be a very painful video, guys. If I go through every single one, you're going to be like, oh no, I wish you'd just hurry it up. So I am going to swiftly speed through it, but you can see what I'm doing there. Hopefully you can see that I'm just altering. Sometimes it's forward backwards offset as well. So horizontal offset, vertical offset, forwards backwards offset. You can start to see it's actually placing it and sinking it into the ground itself, because what the blocks tend to do is they want to snap to the basic grid, and we want to defy that. We want to take the rules, smash them up, and do our own thing. So by doing this, we are kind of doing that a little bit, and there's a few techniques within Steve Rogers' gym that I have done that with, especially the columns and the girders at the top of the roof. I've smoothed those in and set them into the wall and stuff like that, just so they don't look so odd. It's all down to aesthetics, really. And that was an unofficial word of the day. I think we'll go for a new word of the day, though. When it comes to me, it will come to me. Okay, so I'm just going through those. Yeah, let's just check it. Okay, and it takes a bit of tweaking around. Sometimes the camera angle will shoot off on you. Just come back out and go back in. Sometimes you can alter it, so you use your wand and stand there and use your wand and do it as well. That's another way to do it if you're starting to struggle. But try and keep them up out of the ground. If they're under the ground, it starts to get a little bit trickier. So try and keep them up. It's always easier to move them down than to try and get them back out of the ground. So as you can see, that's slightly off. And I'll just demonstrate that now. So we'll go to Properties, Toy Box Path, and we'll just tweak those offsets around. You can sometimes get a clue from the shadow on the ground as well. That's another way to... that's it. Yes, I think that's it. Just double check it. Yeah, okay. Sweet. So we're looking good. You can see what I'm doing there, guys. All you've got to do is do a bit of the same. So in a moment I'm going to just fast track through to the last piece. See you in a moment. A few moments later. So guys, we are back at Gusto's. We are just putting the sprinkles on top of I'm going to stop there. We're just putting the finishing touches to the ring. Okay, so of course you can change up the colours, but I find that the less garish you go, the nicer it looks somehow. So keep it simple, and yeah, there you go, garish. And that's going to be the word of the day. Garish, and a certain person will appreciate that who's probably going to watch this. Okay. Right, so let's try and put the finishing touch to this, the final one, and then we're going to go around and have a little check and just check that everything seems to be okay before we start going ahead with the logic. Now the only reason I'm not doing logic first there is because I've done this before. So if you wanted to do the logic first and that's your prerogative, then you go ahead and do that. Which order it goes in this one doesn't really matter all that much, but as this is a central piece and you do have to rely on the ground to be right before you start, then that's why I've done it this way. Okay. Okay. Right, look, that hasn't passed quality control, guys. As you can see, that is not quality. So what we can do there is we can use another technique with the rotation. So we head down to rotation and flick it 180 degrees. That should push it back in towards the mat. And yeah, there's a bit of overlay there, but that's why you want simple colour. It doesn't show any sort of that, you know, that glitchy kind of collision effect where if you've played around with these sort of things before, you'll know there's like a glitchy collision effect. You want to avoid that in your levels if you can. I mean, sometimes you get it and you can't avoid it. In this case we can avoid it by being slightly smarter than usual. Maybe. Okay, am I happy with that? Yes. Mighty Thor is happy. A good Midgardian battleground. Okay, so yeah, I'm ready to start adding the spice to this. Herbs and spices. Right, okay, we've got the challenge maker. Okay, let's try and hook that up to a couple of locators. We want to make sure that player 1 and player 2 are hooked up to that. Now, if you were doing it online many years ago, you might have hooked up more locators, and that's why I put so many down. So we've got player 1, player 2. You would have had maybe a player 3 and a 4. So I'm just doing it for demonstration's sake, really. But we will eventually get rid of those. Okay, so I'm going to hook up the enemy wave generator, and we want the enemy to spawn here. Okay, that's easy enough, isn't it? So then we go to the challenge maker, and then yeah, when started, we're going to go to that and we're going to generate the wave. And we're not having a big wave. I mean, you can change it so you have like 10 guys come in if you want, or more, but I find to keep it simple to start with and play with it as you like. Okay. Now sometimes I do forget the odd thing here, but that's the whole point of testing. So we're going to configure the wave in the properties of the enemy wave generator, and I'm going to choose a big fella. I want a big muscly looking guy, like a wrestler I suppose. Yeah, let's choose him on this occasion just to show it's different to the one you saw previously in the video, which was a nice, and you can edit the count there. It's quite simple to edit the count. You just select the character and then go plus rather than do loads of different ones. Okay, so that's pretty much that. Now let's go ahead and position these locators. Now there is a little blue triangle on the one corner which shows you direction of which way whatever is spawning will face when it comes out. So that is quite important because you don't want to be facing outside the ring or something like that. I've positioned them this way, but we are going to have a quick double check at the end. And I'm not going to put them on the top of the turnbuckle. I'm going to put them just inside but higher, and the reason being is because otherwise you'll have a collision issue, because the challenge maker will eventually go underneath and you don't want half your legs stuck in that mat. So raise them up a bit, guys. Go ahead and delete those. We'll take the enemy spawn point and we are going to shove it in there as well. Okay, where should we shove him? Yes, just rotate it a bit and shove it that way. Yeah, okay. Alright, so here's the magic. Boom. And it hides underneath. It's perfect. That vaulted ceiling is both quick and has another purpose. Okay, that's the smart bit of this, really. I was surprised when I could actually fit that underneath. I thought it wasn't going to fit, but it does. So, and it hides it away nicely. So if you don't want to see the challenge maker until you actually get in the ring, you'll see it just glow through. So you can't really see it there. On the plain white one you can. If you did it black you'd definitely see it. See that glow. Okay, so let's fight this dude. Let's see what this dude's got. Oh, slapped. Okay, on this I've changed it to easy mode in editing, so just so I don't have to fight him on extreme every time. Not happy. Okay, there's a few tweaks I want to do there. So I'll go back to that wave generator. When wave defeated, I want to complete the game and be treated to all those lovely confetti things in the Disney Infinity icon. Okay. Is there anything else I want to change about that? No, just checking really. So a lot of it is testing, guys. You've got to test out your stuff. If you do it, you've got to test it. Make sure you're happy with it. And for those creators that are already created, they will be very familiar with testing. Okay. Oh, where is he? Where's he gone? Well, there's a bit of a delay and he drops in a little bit. It's better that than him being stuck in the floor, in my opinion. But alright, okay. Ooh.
Again. Ha-ha! Victory! I shall have another.
Thou shalt have another victory. Yes. Brilliant. Okay, that kind of works nicely now. So what we go and do then, let's check properties. I wasn't overly happy with the spawn delay. I'll see if I can get that down a bit. What else? Yeah, we can disable the generation effects as well. Okay, so that is coming along nicely now, so I'm going to hide that under there. I'm reasonably happy with it. It's very close before when I previously tested it to what I wanted. So okay, now I'm doing this with the thought that you guys might want to put this in the middle of an arena and have a boss drop in. If you do need any help with the boss fight, we can go through that, but Yeah, it's Poppa-H. We're going hardcore. We're going extreme. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, so this whole video would have been for nothing unless it was an extreme fight at the end. So let's try it. See the difference from what it was previously. And there is a bit of a delay there still. And I tried to turn it to 0, but I'm sure this guy's going to try and teach me a lesson. Don't you know you're dealing with a god? Yep. Time for him to go back to training. Go get some more training. Okay. So that, my friends, is that. And you can see it wasn't so hard to build, and the more you do this, the easier it becomes, as with anything. I just want to see if I can just treat you to a Thor with a chef's hat on, because I have completed my recipe. I want to try and put on the chef's hat at Gusto's. Wait, très bien. Très bien. Enjoy making this, guys. If you liked it, give a big thumbs up and smash that subscribe button like Thor's hammer.